Hey everyone, welcome back to ThinkHub. My name is Daksh Khandelwal and I'm your host and host of this series Beyond the Headlines. So in today's video, we would be covering three most important stories from South China Morning Post only, and we will try to understand what they really mean to us. And also, tomorrow is Saturday, so the new video is will become, and the video's topic is Python. So basics, Python roadmap basically. This month I will just discuss the roadmap of some important topics. On the 1st of August, I have just discussed about the roadmap of artificial intelligence, and on the 8th of August, I will discuss the roadmap for Python in 2026. And the PPT is ready, and I will just make the video today, or just I will just make the video tomorrow. Let's see what happens. Also, second update is that podcast which I was which I was telling you since I think 1.5 months. So the podcast is just a week away. After 8th, the next week video, the next Saturday video is of podcast only. And how AI can take jobs. I think this is the heading of that podcast. I will just tell you in more detail in on upcoming episodes of this Beyond the Headlines. And that's all. And also, I've just taken a haircut today only. So yeah, that's my new look. And that's three updates for you all. So let's get started without wasting any further time with the small intro. So the first news is that it's a big, very big news, but I will just take the key points under that and we will just discuss about that. So Hong Kong has aims to be the global tech hub, but it can't hold its to its young talent. What does it mean? What does this heading mean? Let us discuss about that. So at just 18, Hong Kong tech enthusiast, name I can pronounce it very wrong. Also, can maybe pronounce it very wrong, but it's Rizan Wong Changchi. So we will just call it Rizang and Keng Muchuki. I'm sorry for if I'm pronouncing wrong. Both rushing to deliver their business idea. So what are their business idea? However, their choices of launchpad could not be further apart. While basically it's on Silicon Valley in the United States, and they are yes using a Chinese strategic blueprint with artificial intelligence and research transformation. What they are doing is, I will just tell you what is the California dreaming. Wong developed an interest in AI when he was 15, joining a class on building mobile applications and all. And he later that connected with the leading enterprises through X, formerly known as Twitter, and built an AI powered app called Text Behind Image in 2024. He said this app allows is 50,000, not 50,000, it's I guess, yes, 5 lakh users to design images with text. So just produce the text, it will generate you the images behind featured objects. So that's the motive of this what we say Wong has developed in the on the in 2024 at the age of 15. And after that, this is a story of in San Francisco. There is a lot of incompetence. Basically, this you can just see. He is Rizang Wong. I believe Silicon Valley can offer aspiring tech. So basically, the Silicon Valley can offer the aspiring tech entrepreneurs like him better support than Hong Kong. So he think that Silicon Valley can produce a better support than the Hong Kong support. Let me just put here. So yeah, and so it's really lack of talent density and a lack of support and a lack of accessibility to these tools. He suggests that Hong Kong can back to him. And also Silicon Valley has been ranked to the top of the startup ecosystem. If you are following an ecosystem startup, so Silicon Valley has been ranked top start of the in the ecosystem, and Hong Kong has come to 29th position. So basically, on a scale of 10, Hong Kong scored only 2 to 4 for its startup performance. So what does this news mean? What are the key learnings from this news? So basically, if you want any startup, the Hong Kong is just lag behind in giving you the startup, what we say, support in the startup, and the lack of accessibility also. And also similar, the Kangni Chi Wai, the vice president of Think Tank, a young, basically young Hong Kong foundation. and it's also research capabilities and all. They just telling about how Hong Kong is developing there in this sector, and you can just see that. Now it comes to this was a story of what story of California, California, this, sorry, not California, yeah, California people person, Rizang Wong. And now we will just discuss about an eye finding. It's about Mochi Chuki. But Mochi Chuki sees Hong Kong's young tech entrepreneurs are blessed with abundant support. But Mochi Chuki thinks like that, in Hong Kong it's an abundant support, and only problem, what is the problem is that not hold about available resources, so more publicity was needed. So there is a resources but publicity is not there, so more publicity is needed. That's the thinking of Mochi Chuki. So we will just take, there was one person who is just selling that Silicon Valley has the major part and it's the top in supporting two startups, but Mochi Chuki has thought that his thinking is that it's there are, in Hong Kong there are sources available in the Hong Kong, but there more publicity was needed. And was who is studying in electrical engineering, and he is on in 2022 learning coding on his by in on 2022. Within 2 years, he built an AI, basically a AI named software, an AI shopping assistant designed to help visually impaired. So, if you are visually impaired, to if you want to do shopping, so it's an AI shopping assistant. So AI, and you can just read it. It's about more information about that person. And basically the startup usually goes through multiple rounds. You all know that startup, if you are building a startup, it goes around multiple rounds. First is financing, then including the pre-seed stage, and then founders develop an idea, then works towards the minimum viable product, that is MVP. What is the most valuable product, or that most minimum value viable product, and the seed stage, and these are many stages and series from A to Z stages. So this stages, and he's Kang Mauchuki, you can just believe that their resources are available to them. He believes that resources are available in Hong Kong entrepreneurs. And headwinds now, now it's a professor known as Alberto Moyle, a professor of practice in finance at University of Hong Kong, and he said that he harder for young entrepreneurs such as Wong and Mochizuki to grow business built from their own ideas in city. Government and university dominated the local startup ecosystem. So basically he suggests that he not he given his opinion that government and university dominated the local ecosystem. And also we are in a stage in Hong Kong where university research projects are the ones driving the pool of innovation. So basically what's the driving force for the Hong Kong people? The research projects in the Hong Kong university. And he also said that if your idea is outside that pool, means if your idea something is that, something, some ideas are outside the pool. So if your ideas are outside the pool, then you are basically up against the usual headwinds in the venture capital. So this he added, and most of the things he added, that how its policy has been changed, and deep seek, and any innovations, technologies, and all. So basically everything is laid out for you. The key learnings is there. Everything is laid out for you. The sense of security is embedded into young Hong Kong people growing up. Basically, in Hong Kong, the culture drives most people down a very traditional path: primary school, high school, graduating from college, and then work in a full time. And it is very hard to pivot it to if you want to change your professions based on your interests. So Wong said that it's very hard to change this hierarchy: primary school, high school, graduating from college, and working in a full time job. So to break this loop, it's very hard to change it, and you do the work that you have in on your interest. So it's very hard. So that's the key learning from you we have taken from this news. And the second news is followed by is the that DeepSeek signals significant price hikes amid surge in demand for low cost AI models. So basically we will just cover this news fastly. So basically DeepSeek has announced on Thursday a significant price hike amid the surging global demand for the new ultra cheap model, which sparkled the debate over the Chinese artificial intelligence startup. And basically the overall pricing is for its application programming interface, basically API only. And it's in the near future it can have a specific plans to advise later, but now the price has been hiked and a significant increase was expected, and users should plan their uses accordingly, the DeepSeek has added. And you can just see that these are some names that are uh, means versions. So basically, DeepSeek has chosen to raise prices at this time. Isn't this just asking for trouble? Who wrote the AI developer? AI developer Michael Go on social media is right that DeepSeek is choosing to raise prices at this time. Isn't this asking for a trouble? So DeepSeek's new model, what is rapidly gaining the traction in the global AI community, and it's combining new frontier capabilities with extremely low prices. And you can say that DeepSeek V4 Flash is Opus, and DeepSeek this is basically currently the second strongest open weight AI model, and behind the massive 2.8 billion Kimi K3. So Kimi K3 is at top, and then DeepSeek V4 as in below that. And based on Moonshot AI can roughly midway between US. Basically, so first on the first is Kimi K3, and on second is DeepSeek, and Moonshot is between some Anthropic Claude and between Opus. So it's just between them on Wednesday. So from now, for now, the DeepSeek V4 Flash has average cost 3 US cents per task, not per month. It's per task. So if you are doing any task, so it will use 3 US cents per task. So what you can just see that in the mixture of this and DeepSeek's 29 model of multi-teacher knowledge distillation. So that's the end of the story, and moving towards the third and the last story, and it's about the golden arm, not golden arm, artificial arm, which is makeup arm steel to show in Hong Kong hackathon. Basically, imagine a woman sitting in her vanity, and a robotic arm reaches to his lipstick and just applies to her lips while doing the morning work. So isn't this amazing? Amazing. It's just like then Iron Man. If you have watched the Iron Man series and movies, so in that the Robert Honey Jr. Just is away from there from some. He is basically a robotic master, so he's just sitting on somewhere and he's telling his mind to do that, so that robot which he has made just do these things. So it was just the thinking of a movie. It was just a fictional part, but it's in real life also. There is a robot which applies your lipstick and it perfectly with perfectly, and this is a personalized makeup assistant, and just as the top honors at the organization in the first Hong Kong first physical artificial intelligence hackathon. Basically, it was the first physical artificial intelligence hackathon, beating more than 160 global competitions. It beats 160 global competition in the intense 48-hour hardware meets software sprint this week. So basically, it was hardware meets software hackathon, and in that, this arm has beat 160 global competitions in the intense 48 hours competition. And you can just see that it's powered by vision language models and voice recognition. This can happen. And to keep personal routines secure, local radiation middleware ensures sensitive user data remained private, and the investor said. So basically, when the robotic hand wrapped around my wrist on the first day, it felt I was holding hands with someone I like. So it's just like a human touch. The one who has made it's give it the human touch also, because graduate from Liu Yunchak city graduate person has said that when I touched the robot hand wrapped it around my wrist, it feels like it was a hand of someone. It's someone is holding my hand, someone who I like. So it's supposed to be a very good part. And the winner has tell something that we have won primarily because our product was complete. Every single pipeline from voice interaction to physical grasping was fully operational. And you can just read this. It was the first time tackling a hackathon on the scales against university and PhD. One of the team member has said this. It was their first time they tackle a hackathon and the on this scale and against this university and PhD students, and they won around on 48 hours have built from their commercial product. So yeah, that's all for today's episode of Beyond the Headlines. So what are the key learnings we learned from the three news? So from the first news we learned that there are resources, but we need to find out where are their resources, and if there is no publicity of that resources, so we have to just juggle it to find out where are the resources. So first news key learnings for this, and second was DeepSeek has significant hype and amongst the competitive with the US market. Let's see what happens. If, and basically it's very low rather than that US models, but in that low also they just hike the prices. So that's the news. And on the third news, it's a very amazing a motivative for us for students and for me also, that an 18 not 18 sorry that in a hackathon, and their a team whose which was their first time tackling a hackathon, and they, on this scale with the university and PhD student, they have won a 48-hour hackathon with immense love and pride, and they have made and AI product which was very good, artificial intelligence arm, AI arm, and they won the in the with so with the lining with many university student and PhD student, they have won and they have tackled it for the first time. So it's a very pride news for us also. We can also make something that we can also win these type of hackathons, and more types of and hackathons types, and hackathon what are the hackathons, which what are the famous hackathons. I can make a video on that also if you comment down on the YouTube and on this video's comment section. So that's all for today's episode. If you found this video useful, consider subscribing to ThinkHub for more news, AI, and learning content. I will see you in the next video lecture. Until then, keep learning and stay curious.